Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for the second to last episode of Nobunagun, episode 11. Alright, and there are a couple moments in this episode, including the beginning and one towards the end, where we see this invasion object. It's the first time we see it. It's either getting memories of all of the missions to date so that we've seen so far in the series. Either that or it's just remembering them, but I think it's actually receiving the memories. I don't know if that's happening because of one of those parasite type ones or the original cells, like a new object was actually being created. It's probably a combination of both, creating a new one with the original cells and giving it the memories of the parasite type. Well, it's a new invasion object was being created, pretty much. That's essentially what happens. A new invasion object is being created. A powerful one with knowledge of everything that they've done so far. So, evolution. It's going to be tough to beat if it already knows all their tricks and everything. But before we can get to that, we have to get to Operation Stone Forest. Alright, that starts. And first we have Kappa using his power to make clones of Newton. Then Newton using maximum G's to pretty much cause a cave-in inside the tunnel that the objects are digging, and that will force them to come to the surface. They don't know when the objects are going to get to that point, though, so they have to keep their powers going full blast for 10 minutes straight, at least, which is difficult. I mean, that's like sprinting full speed for a long period of time. Yeah, that's difficult. And what they're doing is much harder than sprinting. It's like I don't even like lifting a weight that you can barely hold up and trying to keep it up there for like 10 minutes straight. Like it's difficult. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's hard. It's difficult to do. All right, and they're doing it for the sake of the plan. They don't really like it, but they have to. That's what phase 1 of the plan is. The second phase of the plan involves Hunter, Jack, Geronimo, and Gowdy. Gowdy is sitting on the ground trying to sense when the objects are going to come up, and Hunter, Jack, and Geronimo, they're just playing poker. They're really calm. Their job is to take out all the guards and all the original cells and the guards that are guarding them. But they can't really do that until they come up, so they wait for that. And once Kappa and Newton do succeed, Gandhi traps them in that area. He creates like a dome of earth. They get to work. I mean, it's nothing too complicated here. I mean, there's a ton of them, and they try to take them all out. Six and Gandhi drive over and dig a tunnel. Gandhi uses his barrier. They're in the back of all of the invasion objects. They're in the back of the pack. And Gowdy uses his barrier to fill up the area of the tunnel. Six drives forward and it pushes all the objects out. So, because there were so many that not all of them were on the surface yet, so they just pushed them all out. So, I mean, I guess all of them can help fight and destroy them, but I mean, it's going to take a long time because there are a lot of them. But yeah, rather than focusing on that repetitive action of just destroying random objects that are everywhere pretty much, they decide to focus the rest of the episode on Shia, which makes sense. She's fighting the battleship class, and her plan is to drop a bunch of pods around the battleship class. That way they can get data on where the tentacles are. And once they know where the tentacles are, they can shoot the tentacles with an M1A2 tank. All right, well, a bunch of them actually. They had a bunch of them, right? And they shoot they're shooting the tentacles from a distance. And since they aren't AU weapons, they don't destroy the tentacles. But what they do is force the tentacles to collapse on top of the landmine class objects that are inside of the tentacles, which causes them to explode, which causes the tentacles to break apart. Okay? And once the tentacles break apart, the remaining landmine classes that are inside the tentacles are free to come out, which is what they do. Okay? That's what they do. And then they go after Shio. But Shio is able to get away from them and get to the battleship class, shoot it between the eyes, and sink it. Uh, it was much easier than I thought it would be. But the fight is not over yet, so I won't complain about it just yet. The real enemy comes to the surface after that. It's the same one we've been seeing. There was a scene, the first scene that I talked about, plus another scene where it was looking at eggs, which I guess would be the original cells. But it was just looking at eggs. Then the third time we see it is here at the end of the episode, where its tentacles come up and it pretty much just starts to tentacle rape Shio, pretty much. I'm not into that kind of thing, but I mean, if you are, then I guess you enjoyed it. I mean, I don't really care for it that much, but whatever. And that's pretty much it for the episode. We kind of just go through the plan. It was really simple. You know, I wasn't exactly watching this thinking, wow, this is so awesome, you know, this is so good, but still, it was pretty enjoyable, so I'll give the episode a 7 out of 10. And yeah, that's it. Next episode is the finale. I think in the preview I saw Shio forming her gun around her leg, so that should be interesting. But yeah, next week's the finale, so yeah, that's it, and this episode gets a 7 out of 10. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.